Hey y'all, it's the Cute Coffee Gal, and I am so excited to be starting a new Sims 4 challenge here on my YouTube channel. So what we are going to be doing, I've been thinking about this for quite some time. I am going to be doing the Asylum challenge, which I'm sure you are familiar with. But just in case you aren't, I have put the link down in the description below to where you can find the rules for the Asylum challenge. I did not come up with this challenge. It's been done a whole bunch of times by a whole bunch of simmers on YouTube, so it's definitely a popular one. And I have thoroughly enjoyed watching a couple of different people's Asylum challenge videos, especially the English simmer. Hers actually is what got me into watching Sims videos on YouTube in the first place, so I have a lot of credit to give to the English simmer for that one. But what I have decided to do to kind of keep it interesting is I have actually made sim versions of my friends from real life. So I am going to be playing the Asylum challenge with my IRL friends, which I have actually shown the Sims selves to all of my friends. They all were very excited when they saw them. None of them play the Sims, but they were all, they all thought that they really did look like themselves. So I felt very good about that. However, what I did do is I have changed their names to protect the innocent. So if you know me in real life and you know my friends, you will be able to tell who is who. But if you were to like stumble across my channel, it wouldn't be like my friends' actual names on The Sims. So I'm a little bit concerned. I may try to call them by their real life names as I'm like talking about them. It's going to take me a little while to get used to the Sim names. So forgive me if it seems like I don't know what any of my Sims names are. It's because I'm trying to think of the Sim name, not the real life name. So I do have, you can see them down at the bottom of the screen. I've got 8 Sims here. You'll notice that none of them is my Sim self. So when I made my friends, my close friends that I see the most often, you know, my good group of friends, there are 9 of us total. So there's no room for me in the household. I think that ideally I would have had myself in here as well, and then I would have played myself as the challenge. But since there's not, I'm going to do a random number generation to pick one of my friends to be the primary Sim for the challenge. So if you're not familiar with the Asylum challenge, basically the way that it works is that one of these Sims will be the Sim that we control, and the other Sims are locked up in the Asylum with us, but we're not allowed to control them at all. So that's why I have to pick one to be the primary Sim. And then there are a few other rules. They all have to have the insane trait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into Create a Sim and show you each of them just so that you can see them. And then I will have to take away one of their traits that they already have to give them the insane trait. So we'll do that together. But let me, real quick, I'm going to read you kind of a little write-up to let you guys know what the challenge is, and then we're going to do the number generation so that we know which Sim I will be controlling. So, basically the premise for the Asylum challenge is you have been committed to a rundown mental health facility against your will. In order to prove that you are fit to rejoin society and earn your freedom, you must achieve the goals your psychiatrist has set for you, your aspiration. The catch: you need to achieve your goals as quickly as possible while keeping 7 other patients who you don't know and who are out of your control alive and as happy as possible. Add to that budget cutbacks leading to a lack of decent furniture and limited supplies, and your task gets harder. So, there are different rules for easy, medium, and hard. We're going to be playing on medium for this particular challenge. And the way that it works is that I will be able to control my Sim, and I have to get them to achieve their aspiration. On medium, you actually have to complete 3 different aspirations before you are considered to be sane again. So I will have to, I'm just going to make up something to start with. Let's say I have a cooking aspiration, and then once I achieve that, then I switch to the painting aspiration, and then after that, I switch to the athlete aspiration, and then after that, I'm allowed to go free. So that's how we are completing the challenge. In the Asylum itself, there are some very specific rules There are not enough beds for everybody. There's only one bathroom. They're only allowed to have, let me check my rules here. On medium, we're allowed to have 5 skill building items, so we can't have a bunch of stuff that keeps everybody entertained. That all is set up in the house, so you'll be able to see all of that too. And like I said, we're not allowed to control the other Sims. 2 of them may have jobs. The rest cannot have a job. So I will be able to control 2 of them to make them have a job, and then I won't be able to control them anymore. If people die, they die, which people like dying of embarrassment or being too playful, like those are things that happen in this challenge. So I'm very curious to see who survives. And they're not allowed to leave the asylum. They're in an asylum, so they can like go to the ones that have jobs can go to work, but that's all they can do. If we leave the asylum, we have to take everybody with us. So it's like a field trip, if you will. And then, yeah, so that's kind of the basics of the rules as we go. If there are more things that kind of play into it, I will be sure to point those out. But what I'm going to do right now is I've got random number generator up online, and I'm going to just do a generation 1 through 8 to pick which sim is going to be our control sim. So I'm going to go based on the order that they are down here. So like this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's see which one is going to be our primary sim for this challenge. Number 3. So we are going to be playing as Neely. She is going to be our primary sim. So let me hop into Create a Sim and show you guys what everybody's traits are and everything. As you can see, I've already got aspirations and things like that figured out based on my friends themselves. And so we will have to go in and make sure that everybody's got the insane trait. So let's hop into Create a Sim. All right, so we are in Create a Sim. I am currently controlling Neely, who is going to be our primary sim. Our goal is to get Neely out of the asylum. So just to give you a real quick tour of who everybody is and what their traits are before we make them insane. So they all have the last name of Friends, just because that was what I was making, was my group of friends. But Neely is, you can see what she looks like here. And I do have for them, like I said, I made my friends in Create a Sim. So for each of their outfits, I have fun, crazy outfits. This particular friend of mine, she is hysterical. She's one of my, well, a lot of my friends are funny, so I don't know if she's my funniest friend, but she's really funny. And she is very whimsical with her style, and so she's got like a glitter top for exercising, and she's got all sorts of like crazy fun makeup in a bunch of her outfits just because that's who she is. So this is Neely, and she is her aspiration, again, this is in The Sims, so this particular friend of mine is not a chef, but she loves to cook, so I made her aspiration be Master Chef. She is a goofball, creative, and a foodie, so I'm trying to think which one of these should we... I think I'm going to remove the foodie one. And we're going to instead give her insane, because that is a requirement of this challenge. Where is it? There we go. Insane. Oh my gosh. This is going to be crazy, guys. And then for her aspiration, I might change this. I'm going to come back to this because the aspiration for this one in particular is important because we have to complete it. So I'm going to come back to that one. I also am very mindful of the fact that we have no money. So on medium, you use free real estate in order to be able to get the asylum so that they didn't have to pay for the asylum. But then you have to modify it so that the household only has $500. So we've got to earn some money or else we'll never be able to eat. So let's go through the other Sims though. Here we have Rachel, and she is currently set for successful lineage, creative, family-oriented, and good. Since they are in the asylum and they can't really, have relationships with outside Sims, I'm going to remove family-oriented and let that be her insane trait. So there we go there, and just a real quick take a look at her outfit. So this is her everyday. This is her cute little formal wear, her exercise, her PJs, her party. I gave them all fun costumes for party just because I wanted to. And then her bathing suit. So that is Rachel. Then we have Lana, which I actually, her hair is not quite this blue the way that she styles it in real life. It's actually like this really, really dark brown, almost black color, and then it's got like a streak of blue or sometimes a streak of green, but this was the closest I could get to it in The Sims. And so she is friend of the world. She's got bookworm, insider, and outgoing. I'm going to remove insider because she's probably not going to be able to do much club stuff because we're going to be in the insane asylum. Animation just cracks me up. So this is her everyday look. Then we've got her formal wear, her athletic wear, her sleepwear, her party look, and her swimwear. So that is Lana. Then we have Elle, which I'm particularly proud of this one. It really does look like her. Her aspiration is soulmate. She is cheerful, a geek, and good. I'm going to remove good just because I think that'll make it interesting. They do recommend that you put some like negative traits on people just to keep things interesting in the asylum, which I'm not necessarily going to do just because I do want them to be a little bit like my friends still. So, but Elle's going to be insane too. Then and I forgot to look at her outfits. So this is her everyday look, her formal wear, her athletics, her pajamas, her party, and her bathing suit. I particularly like her party because this particular friend of mine is a big Doctor Who fan, and so this reminds me of like the Roman centurion storyline, if you watch Doctor Who. So I thought that was funny. Then we have Shay, and she is a leader of the pack. She is ambitious, she is a perfectionist, and she is self-assured, which I think, let me check the rules here. I want to say that self-assured is not an allowed trait. I don't know why I thought that because I'm not seeing anything in the rules about that now. So, but I'm going to remove it anyway just because. So that's going to be her insane trait. And this is her outfit. This friend of mine actually recently got married and her fiance was like super impressed at how much her sim looked like her. So again, just proud of myself for doing a good job. This is her formal outfit, her workout, her sleep, her party, and her bathing suit. The reason that she's not in a costume is because this friend would think that costumes are silly and would not wear one. Then we have Addie, and she is a bodybuilder. We've got athletic, cheerful, and a geek. Since we already have a cheerful geek, let's remove her geek trait, I think, and let that be her insane trait. There we go. And so this is her everyday look. We've got her formal wear, her athletic wear, her sleepwear, her party wear, and her swimsuit. As you can tell, this particular friend of mine really likes hats. So that's Addie. Then we've got Neely, we already took a look at. Then we've got Cassie. And it's really funny when she took a look at her sim self, she's like, you made me look like a rock and roll, like rock star. And I was like, that's because in real life you look like a rock star, which is just really funny to me. But Cassie is a master mixologist is going to be her aspiration. She is cheerful, self-assured, and a goofball. Let's get rid of the cheerful. We'll let that be her insane trait. Oh, come on. Get back over here, buddy. And insane. And then her outfits, her everyday, her formal wear, her athletic wear, sleepwear, party wear, and her bathing suit. So that is Cassie. And then finally we have Norma. She is a Renaissance sim. She is a perfectionist. She is neat and she is good. Let's see. How many good sims? I kind of want to keep neat because, oh my gosh, this is going to be like such a messy house. But let's see. Good and perfectionist. How many of the other traits do we have? Let's see. One perfectionist and one good. Okay, well, let's keep her then. Let's keep her perfectionist. And we'll make her good be evil. not evil, insane. So that is her traits, and then that's her everyday, her formal, her athletic, her sleepwear, her party. She's also not into the costumes, so I gave her a fun little party dress there. And then her swimwear. So everybody's got the insane trait now. We do have, let's see, 2 of them are allowed to have jobs, but they have to be in the criminal career. Okay, that's fine. They don't have to have the public enemy as their aspiration. Now for Neely, what would be the best aspiration for us to start with? I actually do think that I want to have her complete the Master Chef. I think that would be a good one for her. I just don't want it to be the first one because it doesn't really earn any money. Like, I'm tempted to go with something like painting because at least then we can earn some money pretty quickly. Or writing. Well, you don't get to do books early on, though. Let's see. We've got musical genius. I guess she could be a musician, but she won't be able to play for tips anywhere, so that would not be good. Painter extraordinaire. Best-selling author. I think I'm going to go with the painter. We'll let that be her first aspiration, and then we will move on from there. I do want, of the 3, I don't know if it'll be the second or the third, but one of them will probably be the Master Chef. I might do that last so that she keeps it at the end. Maybe she breaks out of the asylum and starts a restaurant. I don't know. We got a ways to go before we get there. So anyway, those are our Sims. So let's go ahead and hop into the game. And I also downloaded a fantastic Asylum off of the gallery. So I will show that to you. Here are all of our ladies. And this is, let's get the walls up so you can actually take a look at it. This is our asylum. So it's here in Oasis Springs. The rules say that you're supposed to put the asylum in Willow Creek or Oasis Springs. I'm not sure why that's part of the rules, but I never, ever play in Oasis Springs. So I thought that that would be a good place for us to go this time. But here is what it looks like on the outside. It's got a great kind of environment to it, but it has that definite, the high fence there because it is an asylum and there are not like good windows because they're all boarded up, you know, it's an asylum. And the rules do state, as we already mentioned, that there have been budget cuts. And so everything is really cheap in here. Like, the cheapest shower bath combo, the cheapest bookshelves, the cheapest beds, like everything is super cheap. So people will be very uncomfortable. But anyway, you can walk in either of these doors. And then once you go inside, you are here in the living room area. Very sparse. We're only allowed to have 6 seats. So this is 2 seats here. Then you head over here into the little area that we've got, the little office area, seat 3, seat 4, and then you can see back here in the kitchen, seat 5 and seat 6. So no more chairs, no more sofas, nothing else that they can sit on. And then each of the bedrooms is just very, very sparse. And there are 5 bedrooms. We are allowed to have 5 bed slots. So that could be 5 single beds, which is what I've got in here. Or you could have a double bed, which depending on how well your Sims know each other, it's possible that nobody else will sleep in the bed with you because you don't know each other well enough. But I thought that, you know, this was a good way for us to start. If Sims die, we have to remove a seat, and so that there are less chairs, and that happens until there's only 1 seat left. So just to keep that in mind. And so that's that. We've got, okay, we looked at our bedrooms. Here's our bathroom right here. Again, super simple. And then the kitchen, super simple. That's about it here. So one change that we do need to make, we're allowed to have 5 skill building objects, and we can have a TV or a computer. And at the moment we have both a TV and a computer, and I haven't counted up the skill building objects. So I think I'm going to leave the TV just because more than 1 sim can use it at a time, whereas only 1 sim can use the computer at a time. We may later on change that, but at the moment, let's just do that. And then, well, if we're going to not have a We'll leave a desk so they could like write in a journal or whatever if they wanted to. And then 5 skill building objects. The TV and bookcases do not count towards that total. So we don't have to look at those. But let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And the stove doesn't count either. So we may be able to get one more thing. Let's see. Computers, stoves, bookcases, mirrors, and TVs don't count. So yeah, I think we can have one more skill building object. So what should we get? Let's take a look in build by mode here. Activities and skills. So we could do a yoga mat. She's going to be a painter, so the easel's the big thing for her, at least at this point in time. So this is really just to get something else for them to all do, really. We could put in a microphone. That would actually probably get really annoying because then they'd all be singing all the time. No, I don't think we need another guitar or anything like that. What about here? That's still wellness. Most of this is just like fun game stuff. We could do video games. Maybe we should do an exercise something. That's actually not a bad idea. And then what's in the miscellaneous? Yeah, I think let's do an exercise something. What do we have? A basketball court? Can they do that? Is that actually... I don't think there's a basketball, like, hoop with that. So we could have to get one of these to do that. I'm wondering if that would be a good idea, because then they can do it together. Let's see. They can't really... The way that this is set up, they can't actually access anything on the outside. I wonder, does a pool count as a skill building object? There's something about pools in the rules. Okay, so we can have a pool and it would count as a skill building item. So I'm wondering, we may want to put a pool in at some point. But at the moment they can't go outside because of the way that this is set up. They would be trapped in the building only. So let's not do that yet. Let's just put in... I think we're just gonna put in like a punching bag. I think that'll be fine. And we have to get the cheapest one. Let's see. This brown one looks nice and boring. We'll put it... Well, I guess we could move the desk a little bit, couldn't we? Because... Hold on. Let's move this over, and then we'll put this here. So this is like our skill building room, you know what I mean? Here, can we actually rotate it so that it's not so much in the middle of the room? There we go, that's better. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that works well there. And it may be if we wind up having like too many people keep trying to use our easel, we may delete something else and have a second easel just so that we don't drive ourselves crazy with that. Okay, so I think that is everything we needed to do in build by mode. Oh, and the lot that I'm using, I was going to show you guys. So on the gallery, let me pull it up here. We've got, it's the OS Asylum by Green Day Bowser. And it had, I had to make hardly any changes to it. It is already set up with the 5 beds and the cheapest of everything. And they did a really nice job getting this set up. And I love that the aesthetic really does fit in with Oasis Springs. So this was a fantastic build. I definitely would recommend you consider this if you're doing an Asylum challenge. So kudos to Green Day Bowser for this great download from the gallery. So the other thing we need to do is we have to get jobs for a couple of people. So we can have a job, which I definitely... Oh, I'm not even controlling the right sim. Where are we? There she is on the end. So Neely is going to definitely take a career as a painter. Okay, she's got the phone. We need to get them all inside and lock them in once we get their jobs figured out. Okay, so she is going to be a painter. And let me just pause this real quick. Here, I'm just going to hop in and tell everybody to go here so that we can lock the door. And then I guess we'll have to... Will we unlock it in order for everybody to go to work, or just leave it unlocked for the 3 people with jobs? Maybe that's the best way to do it, is to lock it for everybody and then unlock it for the 3 people that have jobs. Okay, so we're going to lock door for everyone.
Lock door for everyone.
And then we're going to allow access to Neely. And who else should have jobs? We can have 2. They have to be criminals. Let's have Addie be one of them. So join a career. We'll allow access for her. So she is going to be a criminal. And then the other one, who else should be a criminal? Let's have it be Lana. I have to remember who's who, because I almost called her real name at that point. It's going to take a little getting used to. Oh, and we should allow access for Lana. Okay. So she is also going to be a criminal. And let's switch control over to Neely. So let me just check the rules real quick. So we've made our sim. They're all young adults. They all have the insane trait. Our sim has a job as well as 2 other sims, and they are both criminal mastermind, so that is good. We've got our build. It's ready to go. It has 5 skill building objects. We're allowed to upgrade things. When the asylum saves up a bit of money, you can start replacing the cheap furniture and appliances with high quality furniture and appliances. You can only replace items. You cannot buy extra items. For example, you can replace the fridge, but you can't have 2 fridges. You cannot upgrade objects in hard mode, which is not what we're playing. Using the handiness skill to upgrade objects is allowed in all difficulty modes. So, handiness will probably be something we want to do as well. And I just realized that when we sold the computer, it got us some money. So let me just cheat our money back to the correct starting level. There we go. So that is correct. Real quick, other gameplay things. So as I already mentioned, you must only be selected on your main sim. You are not allowed to click on the other sims at all to check on their needs. If they die, they die. So this is our only lady we're paying attention to. And I am noticing that it's kind of dark in here. I think it's just because they have the cheap lights. But if that starts driving us crazy, we can definitely get different lights. And I'm actually going to real quick put them all on auto lights because our bills are going to be out the wazoo. If you want to, at 12 a.m., you can click on the other sims to check their inventory if they have books, food, etc. When doing this, your game must be paused. So at midnight, we can clear out people's inventories. That's great. No cheats are allowed. High free will must be turned on. I kind of think that that is already on, but let me just double check that for us. Let's see. Gameplay. Autonomy is on full. Let's do long for their lifespan. We can have it on normal or long according to the rules. So let's see. Apply changes. And then you cannot use the inventory to... Oh, let's save it too. That's a good idea. You cannot use your inventory to reserve items for yourself. For example, you can't put a book or a guitar in your inventory just so no one else can put in theirs. We can't rearrange the furniture to reserve something or to use something for ourselves. For instance, putting a TV in a bedroom or something like that. If a sim dies, you must keep the grave on the lot. We can put the toilet and the shower in different rooms. That is allowed. So if we find that this bathroom is becoming problematic we can stick a wall down the middle of it and have a separate shower and bath and toilet room. That is allowed. And we can work hard in our career, but we can't make the other two work hard. They have their jobs. They can go. We aren't controlling them from this point on. And then there are a couple of other little rules here and there based on different game packs and expansion packs. And we will get to those if and when those particular items are a thing. So I think that is everything in our rules. So let's go ahead and start to play. So I definitely want to create paintings. Let's have her do that. And we'll start off small just because we don't have very much money. She needs to create paintings for her job. She will not go to work until tomorrow. So that works well. And let's see, has she already created a relationship with anybody? Did she meet anybody outside? No, she's just kind of got the basic level of relationship with everyone. Like I said, nobody's got like an evil or anything like that. So in theory, it should go fairly well for us. It shouldn't be too hard for us to become friends with people. What's everybody doing around here? They're watching TV. This one's reading a book. Where is she? She's over here. Oh, I'm not allowed to click on them. That's going to take some getting used to. I'm not seeing... Oh, they're in here reading books. So that's what that is. Okay. Sure, why not? Did we finish our painting? We're getting close to done. And she made a lovely little pink llama for us. I actually think I want to... Here, let's have her put that in her inventory. Since it's her very first one, I want to keep it. And because it's cute. But we definitely need to sell the others. So we'll go ahead and start another one. And we're just going to have her keep making paintings. Here, we're going to stick the little llama right there. And that is going to be that. So I hope that this looks like a fun game for you guys. I have been wanting to play the Asylum Challenge for a while now, so I am excited to see how this goes. If you've got any particular ideas or tips or things you want to see me do in this challenge, I know that there are a million different ways you can slice and dice the Asylum Challenge, so I definitely want to take your comments into consideration. Be sure to leave those down below in the comments so that I will see them. And I am excited for us to get started. Thanks so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so that you will get all these great videos as they come out. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks so much, y'all. Bye.